Hello everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. So first of all, I just want to say a big thank you for all of the love and support on my video from last week, and also apologize once again for scaring you all with the title. At the time I remember being like, there is no other title for this video, like this is what it has to be. Whereas now in retrospect I could have just called it like, this is why I'm changing my channel name or something. But at the time I was like, no, this is what it has to be. And then I also wasn't thinking it would get like as many views as it did. I just kind of thought it would fly under the radar, and then if anyone wanted to know why I changed my channel name I could link them to that video. But that was not the case. I think everyone saw it. So first of all, just thank you. I don't know, I felt like people don't really care about me. They just want to see the Disney Channel videos, and so to hear that you guys do care about me and my channel really means a lot, so thank you for that. Also, I wanted to apologize if there is like loud background noise in this video because I've got the AC on and my neighbors are listening to Memories by Maroon 5 at a very loud volume for some reason. So yeah, apologies for that, but we're here and we're ready to talk about some Disney Channel love triangles. So the love triangle plotline is probably one of the most recycled plotlines in all of Disney Channel history. I would go as far as to say that probably 99% of all Disney Channel shows features a love triangle at some point, whether it be a main plotline throughout the series or a one-off episode or a special two-parter, which is something that they really love to do. Basically, whatever it is you're watching on Disney Channel, you will probably have to face a love triangle plotline in some way, shape, or form. And I get why, you know, it creates drama, encourages the fans to like pick their side and further engage with the content, and it usually results in some decent character development on behalf of the main protagonist. Emphasis on the usually, because I personally feel like Disney Channel is notorious for having just terrible love triangles. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking like, oh my goodness, I can't believe she didn't include Maya, Riley, and Lucas or some other like really popular Disney Channel triangle, trust me, I probably didn't forget them. They will just be on my bad love triangles video, but I asked you guys on Twitter which one you want to see first, and you said best ones, so that's why we're here today. But even a lot of the ships on this list I feel like started out good and then ended up being bad, so take this list with a grain of salt as well. Before I jump right into it though, I do have a sponsorship on this video, so we'll go over that first and then we'll jump right into number 10. This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is a virtual private network service that helps protect you and all of your data while you are online. Basically, whenever you're connected to an unencrypted internet network, this means that countless pieces of your information are being sent out into the digital world where it can be seen and intercepted on by other parties. Even when you're at home connected to your own Wi-Fi, your internet service provider still has access to all of the sites you visit, even when you're in incognito mode, and they're legally allowed to sell this information to advertisers. But when you're using ExpressVPN, it blocks your internet service provider from seeing what you're doing by encrypting your data and rerouting your internet connection through a secure server. So this is why I personally have been using ExpressVPN for years, but I've also been using it to access international content. As I'm sure you guys know by now, there is a ton of international Disney Channel content that is just unavailable for streaming in the US. However, ExpressVPN has servers all over the world, so if you want to watch something like Alex & Co, which is only available on Disney Plus in the UK, you can just switch your server location to somewhere like France or London, and then there you go, you've got all 3 seasons of Alex & Co ready to go. So to find out how you can get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free, just go to expressvpn.com/CalebDisney, or you can click the link in the description down below. Thank you ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, and thank you guys for checking them out, as it does really help out the channel a lot. Alright, with all that being said, let's move on to number 10.
Now that we're ashore, we operate on the buddy system, so choose your partner.
Come on, buddy. I call dibs.
No, I saw her first.
Guys, I'm not the last slice of pizza.
Of course you're not.
Excuse us.
What are you doing? Why are you hitting on Bailey? You have a girlfriend.
Barbara? I remember her name. Look, before we left, I told her it might be hard for me to resist the advances of beautiful exotic women from around the world.
What'd she say?
She laughed. But I took it as a go for it.
So at number 10, we have Zack, Cody, and Bailey from The Sweet Life, and this one might be surprising to some of you because I feel like I'm very vocal about the fact that I do not like Cody and Bailey. However, I found that the love triangle they did at the beginning of the show to be pretty decent. I was actually team Zack, which I'm sure is not a shock to any of you, as I literally just said that I do not like Cody and Bailey. But yeah, I liked the triangle, and what I really liked about the triangle is that it never came back. They both met Bailey, thought that she was cute, but then Zack decided that she had too much baggage, and so he's like, I'm backing off, and then that was the end of it. Now, as a low-key Zack and Bailey shipper, do I think it would have been cool if later on he realized that he did still have feelings for her and they kind of played with that idea a little bit more? Yes, 100%, but I'm also aware that it's Disney Channel, and if they did do that, it wouldn't have been done well anyways, and so I'm happy that they did the whole plotline for 3 episodes and then it was done for good. Also, like, realistically speaking, I get that Cody and Bailey are better suited for each other, you know, they have more in common, and so the fact that they are the main ship from the show makes sense, and I feel like the love triangle was a good intro into their storyline, and so yeah, I like this one, and so that is why it is number 10.
Happy birthday!
Spencer!
Hey, Spencer! Hey, everybody!
a great surprise. What are you doing here?
Come on, you really think I'd miss your 18th birthday? I flew in this morning.
Hello?
Bo's here.
Hey, everybody. Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
Who's the guy with the smaller bouquet? Who's the guy with the cheaper flowers?
I guess I should probably introduce you to. Unless there's another option. No? Okay.
Next we have Teddy, Bo, and Spencer from Good Luck Charlie, and I feel like this is the first one on this list that started out good and then ended not so good. If you don't remember, basically Spencer comes back while Teddy is dating Bo, and he's like, I still love you, you need to choose between us, and Bo is like, I respect whatever you decide, and so she's like, see you later, Spencer, but in a much nicer way. She's basically like, I kind of want to see where things are going with Bo, and I don't think that it is the right time for us, and so Spencer leaves, and then I am a happy gal. And the reason why this triangle made this list is because I feel like if we're talking about just this episode, then the plotline was great and the triangle was handled really well. Not just because she chose Bo, but also because it felt like a more mature triangle, if that makes sense, but that was probably just because Teddy was at the center of it. And honestly, it was nice to see her choose Bo because I feel like it's such a common trope on Disney Channel for them to choose the one that they have more history with. Or maybe it's not, and I'm just thinking of Hannah Montana and Maddie and Diggy, but in this case, either way, I felt like it was the right choice and it made sense, and so I thought that it was really well done. Obviously, this didn't last long though, because a few episodes later, her and Bo break up and then she ends up back together with Spencer, but like I said, it was good while it lasted, and so that's why they did make this list.
Can't believe I'm going on my first LA date.
I know. For such a slow hiker, you work pretty fast.
Wait. Issue.
What?
Joe.
Right.
Well, are you gonna tell him about Ben? I mean, am I supposed to?
I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's play it out. I'll be Joe. What would you say to me?
So, Joe, I met a guy and...
No! No! How could you betray me?
Macy, he's not gonna do that.
Well, I was just showing you the worst case scenario.
Okay. Well, can we please try the best case scenario?
Okay, fine.
Okay. So, Joe, I met this guy and we're gonna go on a date.
Oh, that's great! Have fun. I never had feelings for you anyway.
That's the best case scenario.
Oh, wait. Here's $50. Take him someplace classy. Huh?
Alright, Joe, Stella, and Ben from Jonas. So when I first started making this list, I immediately was like, no, I'm not including any of the triangles from Jonas because they were just dumb tools to keep Joe and Stella apart from one another, and we didn't need that. But then I thought more about the Ben triangle, and I feel like that one was decent, mainly just because I like Ben. Like, the Vanessa Paige triangle was easy to write off because I didn't like her, and so I just found the whole thing to be annoying. Whereas with the Ben triangle, it was like, he's cute, he's a nice guy, and so if I was in Stella's position, I would also be conflicted. And I felt like this triangle was played out pretty well too. Like, they have a cute little meet cute while they're hiking, and then they go out for froyo, but then he sees that she still has feelings for Joe, and so he's like, see you later. And then let's be honest, it was also just nice to see a jealous Joe. Like, that one line where he's like, so what you're saying is your name is Ben and you have a date with Stella, has just been like engraved in my brain ever since I was a child, and so I might be a little bit biased towards this one because of that. But either way, I still feel like it was a decent triangle, and so that's why it is number 8.
How come you're still doing your homework? It's late.
Gotta get it finished, bro. So,
So what?
how was your date?
Interesting.
Interesting. I've known you forever and you've never called a date interesting.
Maybe that's because I've never been on a date with such an interesting girl. She's really something, Nick.
So you had a good time?
Of course. Good time's my middle name.
Did you kiss her?
Hey, you're beginning to sound like Mom.
Did you kiss her?
You've known me forever. What do you think? So, what do you do here all on your own?
Next up, we have Penny on Mars with Sophia, Mike, and Nick, and I know a lot of people haven't watched Penny on Mars as it's only available to stream on Disney Plus in the UK, but that's what my ExpressVPN code is for, so click that link in the description down below to go watch Penny on Mars. But I will try my best to explain why I feel like this triangle is so good, at least in the first season. It kind of went downhill after that, but we'll get into that. So first of all, twins. Now this one is different from The Sweet Life because Bailey didn't really have an interest in either of them in the beginning, whereas Sophia, on the other hand, did, or at least you could argue that she did. And I just find the whole concept of like having a crush on like both set of twins to be sort of like risque. And so the fact that Disney Channel did that just makes me laugh and I love it so much. I also really liked their story because I personally felt like it was clear from the start that Nick was the one that she liked more, but then she couldn't decide who she wanted for her dance partner, and then she ends up with Mike, but then he soon realizes that Nick is the one that she likes, and so then he takes a step back, and then she ends up with Nick and they kiss, and it's just so amazing and I love them so much. And they made this list purely for their storyline in season 1 because, like I said earlier, it kind of goes downhill from there. So in season 2, the guy who played Mike left because he was doing Rock of Ages, and so they had Nick play both roles. And this could have been perfect, you know, she already chose Nick, and so they could have just kept their relationship going and it would have been great, but no, that's too easy for Disney Channel Italy, apparently. So instead, they had Nick be the one to lead in the show, and then they decided to do the whole love triangle all over again, and then by the end of the season, she ends up with Mike. And my friend Nina would always say that she was okay with this because Mike basically turns into Nick in the 2nd season, but I personally am just not over the fact that they created this whole mess for basically no reason whatsoever. And then there's also the fact that these characters are hardly even in the 3rd season, which just makes me mad as well. But as far as season 1 goes, I feel like it was a really good triangle and definitely one of my personal favorites, and so that's why they made this list. I also really liked Cammie, Seb, and Penny, but there's just something about the whole aspect of her liking both of the twins and going back and forth between them that I just feel like adds a little something extra to this one, and so that's why they made this list instead.
Couple of questions. Do we double up on the shampoos? This isn't even half a head's worth. Okay. Never mind, moving away from the bathroom topic. Are you going to tell Ben about the kiss?
No.
Good. I mean, Ben's my best friend, and you obviously wish it hadn't happened.
Yes.
Right. By wish it hadn't happened, you mean because of Ben? Or me kissing you gave you nightmares?
I don't want to hurt Ben.
And I don't want to hurt Danielle.
So let's just forget it ever happened, and you can stay as far away from me as possible.
And what if I don't want to?
At number 6, we have Sky, Sean, and Ben from The Lodge, and I honestly don't know if thinking this love triangle is a good one is an unpopular opinion or not, but I guess we'll find out. I personally feel like the Sky, Sean, and Ben triangle from season 1 was just so good, it gets me right in the feels, and just the story arc from season 1 I feel like was done to a T. How she's fake dating but turned into real dating with Ben, but you know that she still has feelings for Sean, and then they kiss, and it's like, oh no, because they're dating other people, and then now she's got to choose between the two of them, and you know that Ben is probably the better choice, but she's gonna choose Sean because she liked him more. But will we ever know? Because it ended on a cliffhanger. It's just 10 out of 10. I'm so happy that it got canceled after season 2, so we at least found out who she picked. And I personally feel like at the start of season 2, the love triangle was still okay because it was basically over, except for Ben's lingering feelings. It wasn't until Sky started having feelings for Ben again that I feel like the triangle went downhill, because then it was just like backtracking and annoying. And I'm curious to know like how people who shipped her with Ben more feel about that. Like if they were happy that she started having feelings for him again, or annoyed, because I feel like even if they were my favorite ship, I would still just be annoyed by the whole thing. But as far as season 1 goes, I feel like the triangle was done really well, and it basically carried the whole plotline of the 1st season. And I also feel like what made it so great is that both options were equally good. Like I feel like we were all unsure as to who she would pick in the end, and that just is what makes the triangle so good. And so that's The Lodge. I wish it didn't get canceled, and I'm sad about it. I am curious to know like if we did get a 3rd season, if it would have made the triangle better or worse, but sadly I guess we'll never know.
No. A ver, Simón, estás confundiendo las cosas, en serio. Mateo no me gusta. Aparte, mira, somos de mundos muy diferentes.
Coming in at number 5, we have Luna, Matteo, and Simon from Soy Luna. And I'm sure you were all expecting this one, or at least one from the show, as it is my favorite show. But similarly to the last two on this list, I'm really only talking about the first season with this one. It was kind of done after season 1, and why they brought this triangle back in season 3 is beyond me. But I also didn't hate it. But to focus on the first season, I feel like it was so good because just like with the Lodge, they gave her 2 equally good options. The amount of times I've had people message me being like, I just started the show and now I'm shipping her with Simon, help, just goes to show why like the triangle was so good. It's because it's hard to decide which side you were on. It definitely was the classic best friends to lovers versus enemies to lovers, and I feel like that's partly why it was so good, and it's definitely one of my favorite love triangles of all time. Now, is that partly because of Ares Live? Maybe, we'll never know, but I also just really liked seeing jealous Matteo throughout season 1, and we also got so many good like Simon and Matteo fights in the first season because of the triangle, and that just made me ship them even more, so we got that out of it too. And then you also just can't deny the iconicness of Te Quiero Muchísimo, Amigo, and Matteo's reaction. Like, we got so many good moments in the first season because of the love triangle, and so that's why I just had to have it be this high up.
I'd really like to talk, but I'm just swamped. Unless if you could knock all my homework out along with yours, then maybe we could get together sometime. Hang.
Okay.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. Bye.
I couldn't help but overhear.
Are you stalking me?
Technically, yes. I too have a fascination with fairy godmothers, one. Which is another reason I look forward to the coronation. Perhaps we could sit next to each other and discuss its attributes.
Are you saying they used it in the coronation?
Yes, and asking you out?
Next we have Evie, Doug, and Chad from Descendants, and I didn't realize how much I love this triangle until I thought about it, but I really do, mainly because it is so different from the others. I don't know if it really counts because Chad never really had feelings for Evie, he was just using her, but I feel like that's what makes it even better. Like, it's more complex than you're just like, she likes both of them and has to choose sort of thing, you know? I just find this whole triangle so interesting, how she likes him, but he's just using her to do his homework for him, and then there's this other guy who's so great, but she's kind of oblivious to him at first, and then when she does open her eyes to him, they get together, and it's just great, and everything is beautiful and wonderful, and I love it. And then it gets even better when you think about the fact that Evie never really liked Chad to begin with. She more just liked the idea of him and how it would have made her mother happy and how she felt like she was supposed to be with a prince. And so when she was able to let all those thoughts go, she was able to become her true self and be with her true love. And I just think that that is so adorable. I also just feel like Evie and Doug don't get the recognition that they deserve, and so this is me giving them some recognition because they deserve it.
That was a really fancy restaurant. I mean, you got great food, you got great bowling. So, maybe we should go back there again on our next date.
What? Oh, no, this wasn't a date. Please don't say date, because I have a boyfriend and his name is Dean.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had a boyfriend. I haven't seen him around.
Well, yeah, because he's probably in shop class right now making me something that won't express his true feelings.
Well, let's see how I do.
There's a rainbow in heaven, and that rainbow spells Alex. Ronald really likes you, girl.
Thank you for a wonderful day, Alex.
So I'm assuming you guys thought I would have Alex Mason and Dean on this list, or Alex Mason and Chase, the Beast Tamer, but no, we're throwing it back to the original Wizards love triangle, and that is Alex, Dean, and Ronald, my personal favorite love triangle from the show. And it wasn't until making this video that I realized this love triangle and the Beast Tamer love triangle are basically the exact same. The only difference is that Ronald is evil and Chase, in theory, is not. If you need a refresher, basically Alex is feeling unsure about her relationship with Dean, as he's not very good at expressing how he feels, and he keeps giving her his woodshop class assignments as gifts, and so she's already not confident in their relationship, and so that's when Ronald sneaks his way in there. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. But then it gets really interesting because Ronald is evil, and so he traps Dean in some jello and becomes Dean and breaks up with Alex as Dean, and so she thinks that they've broken up, and she gives Ronald a chance until she finds this shop class gift, but it's actually not a shop class gift. It's a card where Dean expresses how he truly feels, and it's just the most adorable thing. But what makes this episode so interesting is that I actually remember as a kid liking Ronald and being unsure just as Alex was, and so the whole twist with him being evil was just 10 out of 10. And I don't know, I feel like they did Dean dirty. Like, as far as my memory serves, when he comes back, I feel like he wasn't as true to character as I would have liked. But yeah, that's Wizards. I really like this episode. If you haven't watched it in a while, I would highly recommend going back and rewatching it because it's a really good one. And so that is why it is number 3.
It's different with you. I can't get you out of my head. Your laugh, the way you lose yourself in a song, the way you love life. Just say no if you want me to stop.
No. See, I can't do this because, I want to kiss you. You have no idea how much I want to kiss you. Boy, do I want to kiss you.
You want to what?
Jakey! I was just writing a song for you. You have no idea how much I want to kiss you. My Jakey, wakey, bakey, yeah. Let's go. Isn't that right, Jesse?
What? Yeah, I don't believe it either.
Look, Jake, nothing happened and nothing was going to happen.
But you wanted it to.
One problem at a time, please. Look, you know how I feel about you, Jake.
I thought I did. Now I'm not so sure. When you figure it out, let me know. Me too. But for what it was worth, I wanted to kiss you too.
So number 2, we have the iconic Hannah Montana love triangle. I'm sure this is the triangle that came to mind for a lot of you when you saw this video, and so I just had to have it at number 2 because it really was a cultural reset. Like, that scene with the photos is just so iconic. And in this situation, I'm actually happy that she picked Jake, surprisingly enough. I just feel like it fit with the story arc of the episode really well, how in the beginning she was nervous to tell people that she was back together with Jake, so then she uses Jesse, but then she's got feelings for Jesse now. But then I really like how she comes to the conclusion that she wants to be with Jake because of the picture falling on her lap and her being disappointed. Like, I feel like it was done really well. And I feel like she needed more time to try things out with Jake before trying things out with Jesse, which we got to see later on in the show anyways. Like, they are the true endgame, and so I'm happy. And I feel like as a kid I was rooting for Jesse, but that was probably just because I was more attracted to Jesse. Like, the scene I included in this video, just, I know every single one of his lines and he just does something to me. But yeah, that's Hannah Montana. I'm sure it's a lot of people's number 1 because it is very iconic, but I personally feel like there is one triangle that is done better. For those of you who know me, you probably won't be surprised by number 1, but for those of you who don't know me, you probably will be disappointed, but I don't care. Oh, also spoilers for Bia 2. If you haven't watched season 2 of Bia, beware.
Sabías que estaba viva y no me dijiste nada.
Perdona, Víctor.
¿Hace cuánto lo sabes?
Ana me contó todo cuando recuperó la memoria.
Entonces, nosotros no nos conocimos por casualidad. Cuando vos viniste a buscarme a mí, sabías perfectamente quién era yo.
Ana me hablaba mucho de...
¡Elena! Se llama Elena.
Yo quería conocerte.
¿Para qué? ¿Para ver lo mal que le estaba pasando?
Thiago no tiene la culpa.
¿Ah, no?
No tiene.
Él sabía perfectamente lo que estaba pasando y no te importó.
No fue así. Cuando te empecé a conocer, nos hicimos amigos. Amigos de verdad, Víctor.
¿Amigos de verdad? Vos no tenés idea lo que significa esa palabra.
No. Yo quería ayudarte.
¿Seduciendo a Elena mientras veías lo mal que estaba yo por haberla perdido?
¿Seduciendo?
Sí, seduciéndote.
No. No fue así, Víctor. No es así.
Yo confié en vos. Yo te conté lo de Vera y a vos no te importó. Sabías que era Elena, sabías que estaba viva y no me dijiste nada.
Víctor, por favor, Thiago no tiene la culpa de lo que pasó. Yo le pedí que no te dijera nada.
¿Para qué? ¿Para jugar al amiguito invisible? ¿Por qué te hiciste pasar por Vera?
Yo te extrañaba y quería saber cómo estabas.
Sí. ¿Por eso te hiciste pasar por Vera? ¿Eh? Vera, Ana, Elena, no sé ni cómo llamarte ya.
Víctor.
Ustedes dos me mintieron a mí todo este tiempo.
Alright, so at number 1 we have the love triangle between Anna, Thiago, and Victor from Bia. And this is probably the most complex love triangle I've ever seen, not just from Disney Channel, but from anything I've ever watched in my entire life. And as Bia is a Spanish show, I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen it, and so you were probably able to gather some context from that scene, or you were just very confused, and if so, do not fear because I am here to explain it. Basically, Elena, or Anna, is at the center of this love triangle, and her and Victor, who is the guy who was in the wheelchair, dated in high school, and it was perfect and whatever. They called one another their first loves, and so it was a great relationship that they look back on fondly. That is up until the car accident that they were both in which Victor is the only one that was presumed to survive, as Elena's body was never found, and so everyone assumed that she was dead because it was like 10 years had gone by, and they're like, okay, she's probably dead. But spoiler alert, she is not dead. She just suffered from severe head trauma, and so her memory was gone. And then the details are kind of foggy on this, but somehow she ends up at Thiago's doorstep, and they become best friends, and he's the one that helps her get back on her feet. And so 10 years go by. This is when Bia takes place, the show. She starts to get her memories back, and so this is when she decides to create Vera, this online persona, and she creates this persona so that she can talk to her sister, but then she also ends up using it to talk to Victor as well, and so that's what he was referring to in that scene. And then with the whole other name thing, like her birth name is Elena, and so that's how Victor knows her, but then when she lost her memory, she became Anna, and so that's why Thiago knows her as Anna. And then also Thiago found out about Victor, and so then he went and like befriended him, and so that was kind of twisted because he knew about the whole thing and was like being friends with him and not telling him what was going on, and so that's what they were referring to in that situation as well. So I hope I did that story justice, or at least to the point where you guys can understand why this is the best Disney Channel love triangle, and I will be taking zero criticism on that opinion. And I think one of the main reasons why I love this love triangle so much, like putting all of what I just explained aside, is just because throughout the majority of the show I did not know where I stood on it because both options seemed so good. And it's different from like The Lodge or Soy Luna, where it's like, yeah, both options were good, but I still knew which one I chose. Like it was Sean and Matteo all the way. Whereas at this one, it wasn't until season 2 that I was team Thiago. Like people kept asking me who I shipped Anna with more, and I honestly did not know. Like I had to keep saying that I needed to wait and see Anna and Victor together in present time before I can decide, because all of their flashback scenes were just so adorable. And although we're probably not getting a season 3, I'm at least happy that Un Mundo Al Revés helped confirm that Fiona would have been endgame, and so that's all that matters to me. So that is my number 1 Disney Channel love triangle. I just feel like there's no other love triangle from Disney Channel that is nearly as complex as this one, and so there's no other option to me. Like if you think that another love triangle is better, you are wrong. I apologize, but it is the truth. But I don't know which love triangle is your favorite, so please let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, Cater Tots, that is all I have to say for today. Hope you'll have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.